Have you ever asked yourself, why is life so hard for me? You work hard. You try to do what's right. But the more you give, the more life seems to take. It feels like everyone else is moving forward while you're left carrying a weight no one sees. In those moments, we don't just feel tired, we feel invisible. The world tells us to be strong, to keep going, but never teaches us how to stay calm when everything around us falls apart. This is the story of a boy named Ryan, a boy who faced hardship, heartbreak, and deep frustration. Not because he did anything wrong, but because life, sometimes, is just unfair. But what makes Ryan's story powerful isn't how he fought back. It's how he learned to stop fighting the wrong battles. Because sometimes, the storm we fear most isn't outside. It's the one we carry within. So here's the real question for you. What if the greatest strength you've been searching for has been waiting in your own heart all along? Let's begin. 2. In a quiet countryside village, surrounded by endless green fields, lived a boy named Ryan. He was gentle, hardworking, and kind to everyone around him. But life, as it often does, showed him no kindness in return. His father had fallen gravely ill. His mother was worn thin from exhaustion. And every day, Ryan rose early to toil under the burning sun, working the fields just to put food on the table. People admired his strength, but what they didn't see was that the heaviest burden Ryan carried wasn't on his back. It was in his heart. As time passed, questions began to stir within him. Why do I have to suffer like this? Why is life so unfair? These weren't just thoughts. They were silent storms building inside him, clouding his spirit. Then, one evening, something inside him finally gave way. After a long, punishing day, Ryan sat by the river at the edge of the village. The sun was setting, casting a soft, golden sorrow across the sky. And there, with no one around to hear, he broke down. His tears fell quietly, not with anger, but with a deep, aching sadness. It was a cry for help he never spoke aloud. No one knew, no one saw, until a stranger appeared, an old man with calm eyes and a gentle presence. He didn't rush in with solutions. He simply stood beside the boy, and after a long silence asked softly, "Why are you crying, young man?" And with that single question, something in Ryan's heart began to shift. As Ryan sat quietly by the river, lost in his sorrow, an old man happened to walk by. He didn't rush to comfort or offer advice. He simply stopped, observed the boy, and gently asked, "Why are you crying, young man?" It was a simple question, but it broke open everything Ryan had been holding inside. With trembling breath, he poured out his story. The poverty, his father's illness, the pressure, the silent anger building up inside him. The old man said nothing. He just listened, with a calm so deep it made Ryan feel safe to speak. When Ryan finally stopped talking, the old man reached down and picked up a small clay pot nearby. He filled it with water from the river, then dropped a tiny stone into it. Ripples immediately spread across the surface. Holding it out to Ryan, he said, "This pot is your heart. And the stone, that is your anger." He paused and added, "As long as the stone is inside, the water cannot be still. And when your heart is restless, you won't see anything clearly. Not peace, not hope, not even your own strength." Ryan looked at the rippling water, realizing that the real storm wasn't in his life. It was in his heart. For the first time, he understood. If he wanted peace outside, he had to find stillness within. Ryan sat in silence, eyes fixed on the ripples spreading across the clay pot. Something within him had shifted. For so long, he believed the storm he feared came from outside, from poverty, illness, hardship. But now, for the first time, he saw clearly. The real storm had always been inside him, It wasn't just life's difficulties that weighed him down. It was the anger, the blame, the bitterness he had carried in silence. No matter how hard he worked or how much he endured, that inner storm would never quiet, unless he learned to let go of the very things drowning him from within. From that day, Ryan made a quiet but life-altering decision. He would no longer fight the world. He would begin to heal himself. Each morning, he returned to the river, not to cry, but to breathe. He sat in stillness, letting his thoughts pass like clouds, watching his emotions without being swept away. When anger arose, he paused. When life tested him, he chose patience over reaction. At first, nothing outside changed. The fields were still hard, his father still ill, the future still uncertain. But inside, something began to bloom. The boy who once broke under life's pressure slowly became the one others looked to for strength, not because he had all the answers, but because he had found something rare, peace in the middle of the storm. In the middle. Years passed, and Ryan's life slowly changed. Not in grand, dramatic ways, but in something far deeper. He became known throughout the village, not for wealth, not for brilliance, but for something rare: his peaceful heart. People came to him for advice, not because he had escaped struggle, but because he had learned to remain still in the middle of it. And when they asked how he found such peace, he simply shared the lesson once given to him. Peace doesn't mean life is without struggle. It means you stay calm, even when storms rage around you. To Ryan, peace was not weakness. It was power. A calm heart, he said, is the strongest force in a world that constantly tries to shake you. Conclusion. What about you? And now the story returns to you. Can a peaceful heart really overcome a painful world? Not through magic, not by avoiding hardship, but by a choice, a daily, courageous decision to sit quietly beside your own storm, to breathe through it, and to slowly remove the stones in your chest, one by one. Because strength isn't always loud. It doesn't always fight back. Sometimes it simply stands still. It listens, it waits, and it chooses peace. So if life feels heavy today, don't fight it with anger. Be still. Let peace rise within you, and you may discover a strength you never knew you had.